Hi everyone, and welcome to How to Score High in Your English Exams. My name is Benjamin, and in today's video we are going to discuss how to write a formal letter. Let's get started. How to score high in your English exams, that's what this program is all about. And today's topic, as you can see it here, is how to write a formal letter. Let's look at the key points for our discussion. Number one, what is a formal letter? A formal letter is an official letter. It's a letter you write to someone who occupies an official position. And what you need to know about a formal letter is that it is written to an office and not to a person. If you write a letter to the president of our country, you are not writing to the person but to the office of the president. So even if he leaves the office and another person occupies that office, that letter is still validly addressed to that office, and the occupant of the office must treat the letter. So that is a formal letter. Then types of formal letter. Let's look at it from different angles. A letter you write to a government department, such as the presidency or the ministry, that is a formal letter. If you write a letter to the president or to the secretary to the federal government, that's a formal letter. If you write a letter to the minister of works or minister of agriculture, that's a formal letter. Now, another type of formal letter is a letter you write to a business organization or firm. If you write a letter to the sales manager of Cadbury or PZ or Leventis, of course, that is a formal letter. Or you write a letter to the bank manager of First Bank or the general manager of NNPC, that is a formal letter. Now, another type of formal letter is a letter you write to an academic institution, such as when you write a letter to the principal of a secondary school, to the headmaster or headmistress of a primary school, or to the vice chancellor, or to the registrar of a university. That is a formal letter. Another type of formal letter is a letter you write to a media house, such as a letter you write to the editor of a national newspaper or an international magazine, or a magazine even within the country. Once you are writing to the office of the editor, that is a formal letter. Now, formal letters could also be described in terms of their purposes, like an application letter, a letter of application, a letter of complaint, a letter of invitation, a letter of commendation, a letter of, there are different types of formal letters when you are looking at the purpose of that letter. Because usually a formal letter is written to someone occupying an office requesting for a particular action to be taken. So that's a formal letter. Now let's look at the features of a formal letter. Features are the parts of a particular thing, what you will find in a formal letter. These are the features. The first is your address and date, which will appear on the top right hand side of your letter, and your address will be followed by the date. The second one is the designation and full address of the person you are writing to, who is known as the receiver, recipient, or addressee, and the designation is the official position or the title. For instance, the chairman of a local government, you begin with writing the chairman, you write the local government that you are talking about, and then the complete address. Or you are writing to the minister of works, you write the minister of works, PMB 1050, for instance, put a comma, Gariki, comma, Abuja, full stop. The last item on the address will end with a full stop. Others will take a comma after it. Now let's look at the salutation or the greeting. And in a formal letter, you should always write "Dear Sir" or "Dear Madam." And you take note that "Dear" will begin with a capital D and "Sir" will begin with a capital S, "Madam" with a capital M. And after writing that, you put a comma. That will be followed by the title of the letter. That will be the fourth feature. The title of the letter, for example, application for the post of a sales manager. And in this case, there are two ways of writing the title. The first is total capitalization method. You write everything in capital letters and you don't underline that. The second one is the underlined method, but you observe certain rules. Every keyword will begin with a capital letter. For example, application is a noun. It begins with capital letter A. For is a preposition, is a lesser word, is in small letters. P is an article, is in small letters. P is a keyword, being a noun. It must begin with capital letter P. Of is a preposition, is in small letters. A is indefinite article, small letter. And then sales is a keyword. It must begin with capital letter S. Manager is a keyword, capital letter M, and then you underline. Those are the two ways of presenting the title of your formal letter. Then let's look at the fifth one, which is the message or the body of the letter. Now, this is what is going to contain the message, what you are actually talking about. And it begins with the introductory paragraph, that is paragraph 1, followed by the central body of the letter, which will be paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. For example, if you are writing a 5-paragraph letter, then the fifth one, paragraph 5, will be for conclusion. And in this case, let's take an example. If you are asked to write a letter to the chairman of your local government area requesting for certain social amenities that are urgently needed in your community, of course, the title will be social amenities urgently needed in my community. You write the name of your community, maybe in Victoria Island, in Apapa, in Ikeja, in Surulere, or in Ojo, for example. Then coming to the message, the content or the body of the letter, your introductory paragraph will simply draw the attention of the receiver to what exactly you are writing about. It's just to introduce the subject for discussion. I draw your attention to the urgent need of certain, or I draw your attention to the to social certain amenities, to certain social amenities that are urgently needed in my community. Then you mention the name of your community. Of course, you have to say other things to drive home the seriousness of what you are talking about. You can say that the absence of these amenities in your community are adversely affecting the social and economic life of the residents of that community. Of course, you could also enumerate the key points that you are going to discuss. In subsequent videos, I will show you the 4 essential ingredients that a good introductory paragraph must contain. And having said that, then the body of the letter, before you write, actually, you must plan. You draw an outline, and that means you take a sheet of paper and jot down the key points you want to discuss. Let's say you want to discuss 3 cogent points. Number 1, you could write potable water. Number 2, you could write steady power supply, steady electric power supply. Number 3, you could write, say, good roads. or motorable roads, if you like. Now, these 3 points are the points you are going to discuss in the central body of your letter, which will be paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. And each paragraph will discuss each point. Let's say you are discussing potable water in paragraph 2. You begin with a topic sentence. One of the most urgently required social amenities in my community is potable water. That's the topic sentence. Then you give reasons why this is seriously needed. You can say, well, there's no single pipe, no single borehole, no tap, no potable water available within your community, and as a result of this, people are going to fetch water from some unhealthy sources. In some cases, people rely on tankers bringing water from unknown sources, and this could cause an outbreak of cholera. Something like that. Just say something that will prove the point that your community really needs this particular amenity. After that, in paragraph 3, you discuss steady power supply. In paragraph 4, you now discuss good roads. You say that all the roads in your community are completely bad, full of potholes, too narrow to take two vehicles coming from opposite directions, and so on and so forth. Then you state the difficulties that the residents of the area are facing as a result of that, and then you conclude. Now, in the 5th paragraph, you just draw your conclusion, which may be summarizing the main points you discussed in the previous paragraphs, and then emphasizing that the chairman should do something urgently to remedy the ugly situation. And that is it. Now, let's look at the next one, which is the 6th feature, the subscription or complementary clause. You use yours faithfully. This is what is in use as at now, especially if you are writing a letter required in answer to an examination question. It could be the senior school certificate exam. Please stick to yours faithfully. And yours will begin with capital letter. Faithfully will begin with small letter. And then you put a comma followed by your signature, which you will sign. And then your full name has to be written in a particular order. Your surname will come first, followed by your first name. For example, if your name is Maria Balogun, Balogun will come first and Maria will come last. So you have Balogun Maria. Or if your name is Mark Eze, of course, Eze will come first, Eze Mark. Now, the last one is official position in case you are representing a body such as a society, a club, or an organization. Let's say you are the president, or you are the provost, or you are the treasurer, or you are the general secretary. You just state it under your name. And don't forget that after writing your full name, you must end with a full stop, and then you write the your official position. If you are not representing any organization, simply end with your full name and full stop. Now, finally, this book, How to Score High in Your English Exams, is a complete ebook published on Amazon.com. And I want to draw your attention to the links that I have put at the end of this video. If you download the video, you will see the links. 2 links for Amazon. If the first link will take you directly to my author page on Amazon.com, and you will find the books and the book titles already displayed there. and you can buy directly from Amazon. The second one will take you directly to the bookshelf, and there also you will find the same information, and then you will click on the book you want, and they will direct you on how you will buy the book directly from Amazon. If you are in Nigeria and you want to get the book directly here and pay in local currency, of course you could write me via this email address, benjamininfo33@gmail.com. Benjamin, then info, info33@gmail.com. If you write me requesting for a copy of how to score high in your English exams, of course I will send you a copy directly to your email, which you can download either to your handset or to your laptop or to your iPod or iPad or any device whatsoever that you are using. Then you can have access to the complete book. You only have to pay a token of 1,000 naira, and then the book will be sent to you. That's exactly the way it is. Don't forget that in these videos, what we are discussing as aspects of the book cannot contain all the details that are in the book, because we have limited time here to discuss this. But in the book, you will find the details, the step-by-step procedures, the illustrations, and everything that is required to demonstrate practically how you should write a formal letter or an article, all the forms of writing, and also other aspects of language proficiency. That's exactly the way it is. This is where we wrap it up in today's video. I just want to thank you for your time. I want to encourage you to stay safe and keep learning, because learning never stops. The day you stop learning is the day you start dying intellectually. So keep learning and remain blessed. I want to wish you well in whatever you are doing, and I want to say please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you will know when a new video is uploaded. Thank you very much. Remain blessed once again. See you in the next video. Bye for now.